How's it going, Broncos? I'm Ryan Hunter.
And I'm Nikki Deseriere.
And welcome to the October 16th edition of CTV News. On this newscast, we will be recapping this year's homecoming week, which has become one of the longest standing traditions here at Hastings College.
And your queen is Lucy Scott.
During the homecoming dinner last Friday, the homecoming royalty for this year was announced, as Ethan Molafua and Lucy Scotch were chosen as this year's king and queen by the student ballot. Vinny Schmidt and Joel Durner were also named prince and princess during the reception.
Throughout the week, Greek life at HC celebrated homecoming with different events and competitions, which now allow all campus organizations to participate. This year's bed races started homecoming week off on Monday night, followed by the chalk walk on Tuesday. Wednesday began with Greek life helping residents from Taylor Hall move out of their rooms, while the night ended with a bonfire hosted at the new Morrison Reeves Science Center fire pit. A skit night was then held Thursday night at the French Memorial Chapel, featuring performances from many of the Greek groups.
On Saturday morning, the annual Melody Roundup Parade marched around downtown Hastings as the HC cheer team and the Marching Broncos band led the way for the rest of the parade. Greek groups such as Alpha Phi Sigma and Sigma Alpha Iota also marched between numerous other schools around the parade in varying autumn themes. The week happened shortly before the final week of Block 2, which is ending this Friday. Students will be back with new classes for Block 3 next Wednesday, October 23rd.
Now let's check in on last Saturday's back-to-back homecoming sporting events, starting with Broncos football going up against Midland University at the Lloyd Wilson Field. The Midland Warriors had considerable control over the field from the start when Midland player Noah Oswald connected a 41-yard pass at the Broncos' 3rd-yard line that led to the Warriors' first touchdown. The Warriors would end the first quarter with a 21-0 lead against the Broncos. Broncos senior Isaiah Jackson was able to find freshman Javon Williams for a 44-yard touchdown to cut the lead 21-7. Not long after a huge 59-yard run by freshman Brett Simonson, the Broncos would settle for a 39-yard field goal scored by freshman Jason Bockel. Bockel would once again earn a field goal for the Broncos to weaken the gap by Midland 21-13. However, the Warriors continued to score across the second and third quarter before Williams and freshman John Zamora would earn another touchdown for the Broncos. The Warriors would end the game winning 61-20 against the Broncos. Hastings will be traveling to Sioux Falls, Iowa to take on Briarcliff University next weekend for a 1 p.m. kickoff.
Later in the day, both the women's and men's soccer teams went up against Concordia University back-to-back, with each team defeating the Bulldogs. On the women's team, sophomore Jackie Gilbert earned the golden goal for the Broncos after going into double overtime with tight defense on both sides. After 14 goal attempts, and 7 of them on frame, Gilbert was able to overcome adversity to win the match 1-0. The Broncos will be traveling to Dakota Wesleyan University Saturday, October 19th, with kickoff at 3 p.m.
The men's soccer team finished off homecoming night with a victory against Concordia 3-0. Senior Fernanda Lisboa got to the net and helped provide an assist to junior Will Poynton to score 16 minutes into the match. It would take a little while for the Broncos to earn another goal until the second half when junior Dan Wheeler pushed through the Bulldogs defense for sophomore Cullum Watson to take the assist at the 53rd minute. Watson, with 10 minutes left on the clock, was able to return to the net and launch the ball into the goal to cement the Broncos' win against the Bulldogs. The Broncos will be back in action as they travel to Bellevue University later today with a 7:30 kickoff.
Our last story of the day, outside of homecoming week, comes to us from Fuhrer Hall and Scott Theater, where 2 new fob entry systems were installed throughout the entrances of each building. The music and theater departments worked with Head of Campus Safety and Director of Operations of Student Engagement, Brian Hessler, to invest $8,000 for the project, and another $5,000 will go towards installing locks in the Gray Center. Dr. Louis Ecker, Assistant Professor of Music and Department Chair, communicated with Hessler on the project so students can rehearse or work on projects during late hours. Students would have to contact campus security to unlock the doors to get into the buildings, but now students can be let in as long as they have their school fob key. Part of the funding was dedicated to installing a portable fob reader to help track the number of attendants during the events in the facility. The music and theater departments are in the process of setting building hours so students can enter the buildings when they are closed to everyone else.
And that will wrap up our newscast. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back October 30th, and we wish you the best of luck on your Block 2 file.